Latino influencers on here that are telling us that machines are the ones that create hurricanes are literally...
Hola a todos, my name is Isaias Hernandez. I am an environmental scientist and I went to UC Berkeley to learn about climate change and to really inspire and to talk about it with Latino communities of the importance of choosing an environmental degree. So as much as we like to think that in Latino community there is so much misinformation, actually, Latinos are more concerned about climate change than non-Hispanic whites, and that's 81% of them describing some type of climate change. Now, we all have family members, and even I have family members that are just like, global warming's not real, or they try to dismiss it, but there are attributions of seeing extreme weather changes as a sign of concern for them. And many people ask, well, how do Latino communities know about this? Well, for starters, many first-generation kids can also relate to their parents of why they moved. Some of that had to be through environmental degradation in Latin America regions. But also, many immigrant Latino families are often forced to work in very horrific industries that are paid less and they do not prioritize their economic, mental health, and physical well-being, like farm worker rights, labor cleaners, and like so many more industries like that. And I think it's important to know that the right wing has developed a lot of unique talking points for Latino communities to indoctrinate themselves into whiteness, to believe that it's immigrants polluting the planet, when we know that immigrants actually produce the least amount of emissions compared to the world's richest people. The dominant conversations for many Latino communities in higher education is go to business school, study economics, go into tech, but so many of them don't talk about environmental related careers. Like you can go into architecture, admin work, energy management. Like there's so many industries that exist. And I think that like the standard notion of like environmental jobs don't pay enough is simply untrue. There's a lot of job opportunities that exist. Now, I will be honest, the environmental industry is predominantly white. I have struggled myself to finally make a name myself in this industry, but I often feel that like when I go to Latino communities to talk about the intersections of climate change, a lot of the times they don't think that it's real, or they kind of struggle with understanding the concepts. And so it's super important is that we don't go so scientific of like X amount of percent of emissions, but kind of start more locally of like, what is your cultural roots? What is the relationship to your land? What are the foods that you eat? Where do they come from? I think if we have these conversations around culture and climate and our histories, then the more that we understand about climate change and the importance for us to talk about it.